Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Lazy Saturday afternoon, just got back from the gym and surprise, surprise, I'm having a green smoothie. Man, I'm rocking these green smoothies these days, just banana spinach, spirulina and chia seeds. Gonna enjoy that, and then I'm pretty much just gonna be a little bit lazy for the day. I'm probably gonna watch some YouTube and do a little bit of stuff, but pretty much just gonna lay down, maybe even take a nap. So I thought before I did do that and clocked out for the day that I would do a video. So as you see from the title, no method to my raw vegan madness. What's that about? This could get interesting, huh? If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I do videos every day, so I'd appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button now, click on the little bell, and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It kind of makes me think of this video where as I'm drinking this green smoothie. You know, I get comments, I get questions, I get emails, I get stuff on Instagram, on my stories. And I get a lot of stuff sometimes, and it's fair enough. So I always like to kind of be transparent and just kind of explain myself, define myself, if you will. You know, I get questions, and I know a lot of the times I feel bad when the questions come in because I think the people are probably going to think I'm just blowing it off, I'm being silly or whatever. But there really is no method to my madness. I do this, as the second part of that title said, chaos is my process. But I kind of organize my chaos in my way, and it works for me. Which is why I'm always railing on and on about, and he does it much better, but Tony Robbins, but I will tell you, just like he does in his special on Netflix, I am not your guru. I never want to be your guru. I go through my videos. I don't say, you need to do this, you need to do this, eat that, don't eat this. Like I always say, this is just the Jack experiment. You get to watch Jack in a box. You know, you get to see what I'm doing, and then yeah, you decide, okay, this guy's crazy as, you know what, wouldn't follow him for anything. But no, I'm being serious. You have to decide for yourself. For me, I just, you know, I'm becoming. I do things. I don't try to overthink things. I don't over-intellectualize things. And I get that a lot. Hey, don't you think, like with the green smoothies, the reason that kind of made me think is I get that a lot. Like, well, is that good to be drinking green smoothies all the time? Shouldn't you be? And I do eat plenty of fruit, but I don't know. That's a fair enough question. I don't know. As I was, I think I was doing an Instagram live yesterday, and I said, though, but I'll tell you this. As habits go, as bad habits go, maybe it's not good to drink green smoothies as much as I do. Maybe green smoothies aren't good, but as a bad habit goes, if green smoothies are your bad habit, I don't think things are going to turn out too bad in life. So, you know, I go through phases. There is no set way that I do this lifestyle. And a lot of times it can look like, and maybe it is, contradictions, inconsistencies, because I'll talk about something one day and then I'll kind of pick up on it myself that 2 weeks later I've gone in a totally different direction, because that's how my process is. That's how life is for me. Every day we're getting new information, you know, we're learning things. But also too, it's a personal thing, you know, that just works within our life, like the individual's lifestyle, just the way they process information, the way they do stuff. So yeah, I mean, from the outside, it could look very chaotic and it could be very confusing. That's one aspect that, yeah, sometimes I think about a little bit. It could be really confusing to those that are new to the lifestyle, that haven't done this for a while, and they're trying to grasp the basics. Because like I break the rules. I do things they tell you can't do. When they say zig, I zag. You know, I'll go on kicks, and I'm on one right now where I'm just drinking tons of green smoothies. Yesterday it was basically 3 big green smoothies and then a salad for dinner. Today this is my second green smoothie. I did have a nice big bowl of mangoes, but I'm probably going to have banana and ice cream for dinner. So I'm heavy on the bananas right now. That's partly because I'm in Alabama, but also I'm just kind of in a banana place. Like, I really enjoy bananas and spinach. I do rotate my greens, and I get some kale in there, and I still haven't yet on this, since I've been home this time, to make like a collard smoothie. I need to try that out again. I've done it before, and it's not bad. The collard is a little bit more bitter than the spinach and the kale, but it's not bad at all. But no, I mean, you know, and I just, there is no plan. There is no, I'm doing this. I tend to slip into phases, and I just go with how my body feels. Like a good example of that is, let's go back a few months to April 13th. April 13th was when I flew back to Costa Rica after my last last 3 month period there. When I first flew back in April, I just kind of slid into this thing. You know, I normally would do that when I go to Costa Rica. I would eat high fruit, low fat, maybe cut all the overts for a while. And I did that this time, and it just kind of kept going. So there was like about 2 months where I was just, I didn't have any overt fat. I wasn't adding overt fats. I was eating a lot of fruit, a lot of high water content fruit, and man, I was just zinging. I was vibrating at a different level, almost too high. Like somebody was asking me the other day about the difference I feel when I'm not eating overt fats and when I do eat overt fats, and I said the biggest difference was just being kind of like, you know, intense, like having energy all the time. But I went through that phase, you know, that was 2 months, 2.5, and then I started incorporating the fat in again. And then I go through periods where I'll eat higher fat. Now, right now, it's kind of even more chaotic. It's back and forth. I don't go high fat. Let me stress that. Other than maybe, you know, maybe sometimes there's a special meal I'll have, but for, you know, say 2 or 3 days in a row, I'm not going to go high fat. I might do one high-fat meal, and that's very, very rare. But what I'm getting at is when I'm talking higher fat, I'm talking maybe 15%, whatever. But now, right now, currently with the fat, is I'm not avoiding fat. In fact, last night, I hadn't had any yesterday, so I had tahini in my salad dressing. Today, I've had seeds. Yeah, I've had hemp seeds and chia seeds. But there's then I'll do it. You know, some days I'll have the fat, some days I won't. But it's always about listening to my body, always about what I'm doing at the time. If things change, if my life circumstances change, you know, I'm focusing on the gym now. I'm going to the gym regularly and trying to put on a few pounds of good lean muscle. Although once again, every time I talk about that, everybody, like, I'm not obsessed with that. You know, I'm put on little poco a poco, little by little, you know, gain a few pounds here, a couple of pounds there. And I've kind of gotten back up to a respectable weight after being just such a lightweight getting on this lifestyle. But no, that's just where I am now, and how I'm eating now reflects what I'm doing in my day-to-day life. Sometimes and let's talk about convenience. Sometimes I'm strictly eating out of convenience. You know, the green smoothies, when you're working a lot or when your mind's occupied, you don't really want to think about food. It's just so easy to get a lot of nutrition in there. You know, you pack it with 6 or 7, 8 bananas. You stuff as much spinach as you can in there. You add some good, you know, you throw some chia seeds in there. You got a good ratio on your omega-3s to your omega-6s, or your omega-6s to your omega-3s. And there you go. Also, too, like, here's another one with the cooked food. When I do sometimes eat cooked food, it's generally not, there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to that either. It's not like I sit down, okay, I'm going to have this special cooked meal. It's utilitarian. It's like, okay, let's see what happened today. I didn't get enough. Okay, I probably need to get some more calories at dinner than I'm going to get if I make a salad. Now, I could make that salad and add fat, but sometimes at that dinner meal, I'm not planning on having overt fat. So if I'm just going to have a salad and I'm not going to have any, I'm not going to add any fat to it, that's not going to provide the calories that night that I need to finish off my day. So in that case, you know, that's when I throw down with 4 or 5 sweet potatoes and on a big bed of collards. And then boom, you know, the next day I'm back to eating raw. That's one of those things. Maybe, hey, maybe I'm an exception. That all the raw vegans, the hardcore raw vegans talk about, and I've seen this exact statement out there about That getting on that cooked is a slippery slope. Once you go, you start sliding and more and more and more cooked, and you don't go back to the raw. I go back and forth. I'll eat some cooked today, and then boom, there's 4 or 5 days that I got my good stuff, and or that circumstances are convenient for me to eat raw, and I eat raw for 4, 5, 6 days, a month. I mean, tomorrow, if I get my, if I'm really focused on buying my food, I can slip back into fully raw anytime I want to. But yeah, like I say, and I'll finish this off instead of just rambling around covering the same subject over and over. I can't answer a lot of whys. A lot of my whys are not going to be transferable to you, relatable to you, because you don't live my particular life. You don't live my circumstances. You're not in my head, which you should be thankful for. There's a lot of crazy going on up there. But I get it done. I get it done. I don't know. Everybody else, all the gurus out there have methods, this, that, and the other, but they don't seem to be getting people there. So I don't know. Your mileage may vary on all this, but as I always say, as I always talk about in videos, don't look to me, don't look to other people, or take what you can, listen to everybody, see, really listen, see what they have to say, see if it makes sense to you, then take what they've said, go out and check that out, do searches, do research, figure it out on your own. You have to be active in this process. And you have to figure out the process for you. You can't do my process. You can't do this guy's process. You can't do hers process. You're you. So figure out how to personalize this lifestyle for yourself, because that's what I've done. I mean, I've taken things from people. There's recipe people out there. There's people like Tanny Raw that I've taken a lot of the basics from. I've read books. I've read 80-10-10. I've read The China Study. I've read Whole. I haven't read Dr. Greger's book, but I listen to a lot of his talks, and I read a lot of stuff that he's written. And I take these things, and I take them and I apply them to my life, and that's what I recommend that everybody does. But in the end, it's like I can be a little hard to follow, like what I'm doing, and I can kind of see that, especially on Instagram and some of the questions I get asked there and whatever. It's just kind of like, I think sometimes people are scratching their head, what is this guy really doing? Who is he? But anyhow, that's just my process. It's probably never going to change, because that's just my personality, and I do things in an odd way. But like I said, this was just mostly, I like to kind of explain, define myself, and it kind of helps, like I say, so people don't think sometimes if they ask me really particular questions on things that I'm not blowing them off, but it's just that I really don't know. I've learned what I need for this lifestyle, and all I can do is try to keep on learning, and evolving. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.